Hey, what's up gamers? EnforcerGamingX here, and I am back for a 1,000 subscriber build, and that's pretty much all I could think of, like putting together what we're going to do here. But we are going to do a build. I've been gone for a few months, and there's a lot of reasons behind that. I put out a promo video last week, let you know that I was actually coming back with a build such as this, and it should be pretty decent. I can't tell you why exactly I'm making this build just yet, but in the next video I'm pretty sure, or video after, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to give you the details behind all of it. But the $1,000 build is what I'm kind of focusing on because of 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully I don't get to a million, subs, because that would just be terrible to build $1 million. So what we're doing with this one is I try to keep it at or around $1,000 for this build. We have the i5 9600K. We also are going with the what is that right there, the Z390 motherboard. I'm not too excited about that motherboard, mainly because I just looked through some of it now and I realized that it only has one RGB header, and we are actually using this Corsair water cooler, which has RGB. So I'm going to have to probably split a cable to make sure I have the case and that at the same time so that we can run both RGB. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem. But really what this video is more about is me getting to 1,000 subscribers. As of this video, as of this recording, I am 17 subscribers away from 1,000, so we're not actually at it yet, but we are getting there. So I'm just letting it kind of get there. If it doesn't get there, I'll still put out the video, but because I'll eventually get to it. This build should be a decent gaming build. We're going to put in the RTX 2060, and you're probably wondering why the hell are you going with the 2060 when the 30s are coming out. They are already released, but obviously we couldn't get one, but we will be able to soon. The reason why I went with this is, one, I'm trying to stay under the $1,000, and there's no way I'd be able to do that even when the 3060 comes out, or 3070, which is going to be around $500 in October. That would still put us over the 1,000 mark that we're trying to shoot for. As far as gaming, any graphics card that's above, I'd say, the 2060 right now probably isn't worth buying. Any of the ones that are around $400 to $500, I would definitely wait until October for it. But like a 2060, if you're going NVIDIA anyway, that's definitely where you want to be at. The super series are kind of null at this point because of the 30s coming out so soon. This video is more about us getting to 1,000 subscribers. I want to personally just thank everybody out there that has subscribed to my channel. When I started this, I've said it before, when I started this channel, I had no intention of actually getting a lot of subscribers. I figured I'd have some people from my Facebook. I'm a musician. I did shows and stuff like that, and I'd promote to a lot of my friends, and I'd have a lot of connections that way. So I figured I'd get a few of them in there, maybe 30, 40 subscribers at the most. So like when I started this out, I just was doing some gaming and hoping some people would watch it and find it useful or wanted to play some of the games that I was playing at the time. And then things escalated a little bit, and now here we are, almost at 1,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for helping me get to that point. I know a lot of my videos are based off of gaming hardware and stuff like that, and I try to get those videos out there, help videos that I can do. When I find a problem, I will create a video that describes it. But anyway, this video, we're not going to go through the whole building process, but I decided to shoot some video while building this new system. So let's go ahead and watch the video. All right, so here we go. We finally have the build together here, and I'm just going through some of the settings because right now we're on the i5 9600K with the RTX 2060, and you can see I went to the default ultra settings, and there's a few things that aren't all the way up when you put it on the default ultra, but I just wanted to have it at default so we could take a look exactly of what we're looking at here. And indoors here, I mean, up to like
detected.
128, 130 frames per second indoors. We get outside, we get around 95, and yeah, it kind of fluctuates between 95 and 100. But, like I said, this is the RTX, 2060, 1080p. Everything is maxed out. I ran a little benchmark here so we could kind of see. And there was a few minor hiccups. I think it jumped down eventually to about 52 frames per second. But I also get, like, some weird stuff like that on the Vision in general. And I don't think it has anything to do with the hardware itself. So, I mean, this is really good for a gaming machine. Now, you really don't need to have, the latest, 30 series to have a good gaming experience. This is a build that, costs around $1,000 for my 1,000 subscribers. And I think it's very, very doable, very playable. We could probably even kick up the graphics a little bit more with those additional things that you put in there. But yeah, I mean, if you look here, I was kind of amazed. I had to double check just to make sure that the rendering wasn't messed up, because a lot of times you'll go into something and that the resolution scale will be down to like 50%, and you're actually running 720p instead of 1080p. And I've had that happen way too many times. But yeah, I definitely am happy with this build. It is doing everything we wanted. Alright, so we finally got the build done, and I couldn't be happier with it. We ran into so many different, problems that it was kind of a pain a lot of times. The CPU, for one, the i5 9600K, wasn't working in the first motherboard. The motherboard actually was burnt out, or the CPU was burnt out. I'm pretty sure it was the motherboard. But we had to return the motherboard, and the motherboard was bad. And it was a brand new motherboard, which kind of sucks. So we ended up returning that and getting another motherboard. And that ended up having a problem as well. And it turned out that it was actually the CPU. The CPU died because of the first motherboard. So I had to bring back a bad CPU that was fried from the motherboard before it. In between there, we actually brought back a motherboard that had freaking bent pins on it because it was an open box, and they must not have checked it or something like that. But yeah, I was really upset with that. So my wife actually went back to the store 3 times to actually get new motherboards and CPUs. But you'll see in one of my other videos that I actually decided to change it all up. This motherboard, as you notice, is not the same motherboard as in the beginning. This is from the i9 9900K, the AORUS Wi-Fi Pro, or Pro Wi-Fi. And we went with that one because I got myself the 10900K, which that one is going to be my main computer from now on. And then we'll put the 9900K in another system. Probably replacing the 2700X, seeing that one just really isn't being used that much anymore, and I'll probably just sell it off. But as far as gaming goes, as you can see, we definitely had great FPS in the Division 2, and I was actually kind of surprised. That was at 1080p, and everything was at the ultra settings. So it was the default ultra, so I didn't go through and actually change everything, which you can do. You can put it up a little bit more and add a little bit more to it. Seeing that we were actually running on a 60 hertz TV, we probably could have gone ahead and did that because we were getting 115, 110, somewhere around there at max, and at the low end at 95. So we definitely could have kicked up the graphics and then got a little bit more. Anyway, everything in here you can game with at, you know, decent settings, medium high settings, 1080p. If you go to 1440p, you'll probably want to take it down just a little bit, but you can still get a great gaming experience if you're trying to, you know, just get out there and game. It is, you know, a $1,000 build, you know, for 1,000 subscribers, and we are at 1,000 subscribers, and we're actually over it. So we finally got to that milestone, and this is the build for it. So when I actually started this video, we were still reaching up on it, as you've seen in the beginning, so we didn't really have it yet. And like, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that has subscribed and, you know, made me get to 1,000. I never thought I'd actually make it there. I know I said it before when I was at 500 subscribers, 100 subscribers even. You know, I said I wasn't there and just went to sleep. Yeah, so anyway, the last thing I want to say about this motherboard and CPU combo, there is one thing you have to worry about when you get an i5 and you're going into a motherboard like this. The motherboard actually did not have the BIOS for the CPU. So I actually had to put in my i9-9900K in order to get the BIOS updated. If I would have known that beforehand though, I probably could have did it by a USB stick or something like that from another computer. But yeah, it wouldn't start up. When I got in, I was like, we returned so many motherboards in the CPU, I was not having it. So I was like, there's no way that this CPU and motherboard could be bad. Everything is brand new. Everything should be working perfectly. So yeah, I had to go ahead and update the BIOS. Once I flashed the BIOS to version 12 or F12C, everything ran and everything was good and we had a lot of game. Anyway, that is all we are going to do for this video. There is another thing I want to show you guys with this video, or with this build, but we're not going to do that yet. We're going to wait for another video before I release the information about this build and why we actually built it. So anyway, again, I want to thank everybody for that subscribe. Got me to 1,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. As always, make sure you hit that like button and definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. You all take care and happy gaming.